I'm going to be like this for the rest of my life. That's what scares me about my illness. I wake up every day and think, oh no, I've got another day to get through. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do it, is the truth.
Well, if I hadn't found an alternative source of medicine, it probably would have killed me ultimately.
I go to bed scared, I wake up scared, I spend all day scared that the police are going to come and smash my door down. People in my community have been bust and the police caused wanton destruction and damage in the homes.
Fit and healthy for an 80-year-old. I'm in not bad condition considering. I can still do most of the stuff that I could do 20 years ago. I was diagnosed with kidney failure stage 3 about 2 years ago and was told that there's very little could be done for me because there was no treatment for kidney failure. I was facing imminent dialysis, which I really didn't fancy because your quality of life goes to hell. And I certainly knew that at my age I was not going to be eligible for transplants. So I thought, well, heavens, what am I going to do? I'm not ready to die, and I have little alternative but to look for a different medicine.
It's now said that I suffer from chronic myofascial pain from joint hypermobility spectrum disorder. It took over 5 years, I think, to get a diagnosis. It's basically a chronic pain condition. So I'm in pain even now just sitting here. The pain through my ankles and my Achilles tendons is really quite distracting. Same through my back and the rest of my body. I used to be controlled by that fear until pharmaceutical drugs nearly killed me several times. In which case you get a bit more scared of prescription than prosecution. If I abide by this law, it harms my health. I can't abide by a law that harms my health.
I had 24 cannabis plants growing in here as my medicine, and the police came and I told them I'd got it. So they came in, looked at it and removed it. They took all the plants, my lights, and I'm awaiting to see what they're going to do to me. As a horticulturalist, I really enjoyed coming in here. The plants are lovely, there's extremely good vibrations off this room, I loved it. Yeah, it's a good plant, it's harmless to everybody, whatever the government say. And I would like to grow my own medicine again. It was very fulfilling actually to do it, and I'd really like to get back to doing it again. And I was actually quite proud of how good I was at it.
So yeah, my fear is being stuck in this pain for the rest of my life and getting worse and worse and worse and having no one to help me through it. I can't do anything. I used to be a very helpful person. I was strong and muscular, a survivalist, runner, fisher, camper, active dad. My life is going to be a life of pain, and cannabis eases that pain, doesn't take it away, but it eases it and makes my life more bearable to live.
Initially it was to grow my own to get for recreational purposes in 1970. I only knew about cannabis as a recreational drug, but then I discovered a group, WTU, We the Undersigned, who were very interested in it as a medicine as well.
I was just, everyday person. Now I happen to be the founder of a campaign group called We the Undersigned Have a Human Sovereign Right to Cannabis, known as WTU for short. And we are a group of almost 6,000 people now and growing every day. And we are trying to raise a legal challenge against the government on a human rights basis against the Misuse of Drugs Act and the prohibition of cannabis specifically.
Thank you all. I don't know how capable these hands are, I can barely move them half the time. Thank you all for coming, taking the time to stop and sit down and have a listen to We the Undersigned Have a Human Sovereign Right to Cannabis. That's a mouthful, so we say WTU for short.
Because that's who's running WTU, is people like me that are sick and dying and broken. Why are sick and dying and broken people on the front line fighting for freedom when it shouldn't be this way? And maybe we might have a hope of winning our freedom and equality. Why is it that the consumers of alcohol are treated differently to me? Why should I be discriminated against and persecuted because I don't want pharmaceutical drugs or alcohol? It's the injustice that gets me, and it's cost me my wife, it might cost me my freedom, it might cost me my life, but it's what's right, and that's why it should be done. So it's a war on consciousness, not a war on drugs.